Point of point, welcome in. Junior tennis, all the wins. James and Ari, we're on court. Point by point, let's start.
Hi, and welcome to Point by Point, the podcast where we dive deep into the tennis junior pathway and the parenting involved behind coaching junior athletes. My name is James. I'm joined by Ari.
Yeah,
Hi, Ari.
How you going, James?
It's a bit long time coming, this podcast. I'm very excited to bring this to all our viewers.
Yeah,
it's a lot that goes into junior tennis that we will discuss. Just a little bit about ourselves. I met Ari at junior tennis, funny enough, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, what, about 5 years ago now?
Yeah, that's correct. About 5 years. And it's been a journey since then, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. 5 years ago, we met, and then next minute, we're best mates. So, and we decided to do this podcast because we always asking each other questions about pathways and other types of tennis, like fixing the forehand and backhand. And then we just decided to, how about we just share our knowledge, what we've learned over the last 5 years.
And that's right. And I guess the next question is, why does this podcast exist? This podcast exists because we want to provide a platform for parents to give them an understanding of what actually goes into junior athletes, what everyone's experiencing, that what they may be experiencing is not individualized, they're not alone. There's a lot of people going through this stuff. So we want to bring that to the fore, and I understand there's a lot of people out there that are going through what they're going through.
A lot of people out there. A lot.
So we'll go through the mental part of tennis. We'll go through all the different aspects of tennis, the technical part, the coaching part, all the different little things that might break down over time to show how do we actually build a competent player.
Yeah, definitely. Like a massive topic is like the losses, James. In every tennis tournament, there's realistically one winner.
Exactly right.
So there's a lot of losses.
And I guess we want to help parents navigate the junior pathway, whether it's losses, injuries, self-doubt, everything in between. So we just want to bring you guys along the audience for the ride with us. And it won't be perfect. We've got no podcasting experience. So I guess it's a bit of a raw view at it. So we'll take you along and we'll see how we end up.
Yeah, definitely.
So I guess we should start, with our first focus, and that's what this podcast is going to entail. So we're going to try to bring you some very special guests, professional players. We would love to get them on just to see what their journey entailed. We'll do a lot of things on match tournaments, how the juniors have been going, how they've been developing. Parent discussions. Now, this is a big one. We want parents to be involved in this podcast.
Yeah, definitely parent discussion, because every parent goes through a different, how do I word it? Different situation with their child. Like every child is different. So parent discussions is a big topic. And
I guess on parents, we're also trying to build a safe space. This is going to be an area for everyone to come on. If they're unsure about something, please bring us the questions. We don't have all the answers, but if we don't have them, we'll try to find them. We'll try to get people on to give you those answers. And we've got some really exciting special guests coming up. We've got mental coaches, which I know all kids are struggling in that space. There's very few kids that can be told that are not struggling in that space. Emotionally, anxiety, the fear of losing, performance anxiety, parenting pressures that inevitably get put on children. I'll put my hand up. You can be putting pressure on a child and not even knowing you're doing it sometimes. So
yeah,
that's one of the things we want to really bring to the fore and actually highlight and try to get some answers, because no one's perfect. No. Tennis isn't perfect. Parenting's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. So we want to try to provide those answers. So inevitably, we're trying to build a safe space and build this community through open discussions and shared experiences. Is that something that would resonate with you, Ari?
100%. Like James was touch base, tennis isn't one-way path, multiple pathways. It is a lonely sport. It can be a very lonely sport, James.
Yeah,
there's no teammates. It's not like basketball or footy where you have teammates out there. Here you go. It's you and the opponent.
And I guess by shared experience, we can discuss all the problems. So the UTR. The UTR is a massive issue. It doesn't matter where you're from. You can paint it any light you want. The UTR is a massive problem. There's players out there trying to protect it. There's players out there hunting for it. We're going to try to have those open discussions and see what actually works in actually building a player. We'll try to get some coaches on to discuss that in further detail who know a lot more about that than us.
I'm can't wait to share my opinion on UTR as well.
Yeah, I agree. And on that, I should say we've been pretty lucky in our coaching journey. We're at a club where our coaches not just coach the children, they actually coach the parents too.
Yeah, they coached us.
They've sort of changed our light on what we believe in and what we might think is the norm. So we're improving every week, a daily proposition.
When we first came there, what we used to think was the eat and the bit actually wasn't. So that's what our club did to us, James.
Correct. And the other part of it is as well, I guess we want to also start worrying about things like the everyday problems, the fear of losing, the anxiety issues, all the confidence issues, handling of pressure, all these kind of things that are coming up on a daily basis for parents. And sometimes I know as a parent, I wasn't always able to navigate that. So it's sort of an inexact science, isn't it?
So just to quickly, we'll touch base, James. Sorry, we should have mentioned what is UTR.
Well, a UTR is a universal tennis rating. It's a system that obviously we were trying to, I don't know how to put it in the nicest possible way. It's the UTR is basically used to get a junior ranking. So there's players out there who are really trying to gain that ranking. It helps get into different squads, especially here in Australia. It might be national development, all these different kind of programs. However, I've in my personal experience, I've found children actually avoid playing some competitive matches so they don't lose their UTR if they're playing a lesser light of a player, which to me personally, I think is ludicrous.
I'll give you a quick rundown, real short rundown on how it actually works. Let's just say I'm a 6 UTR and James is a 5. Now, I'm expected to beat James, what, 6'2", 6'2"?
Yeah, maybe a bit less, 6'3", 6'3".
Okay, but let's just say James beats me 6'2", 6'2". His UTR will go up, correct?
Yeah, it's an algorithm.
And mine will drop slightly. So that's just a quick rundown on how UTR works.
Yeah, so ideally, we don't want, in my opinion, and a lot of coaches will attest to this, you don't want children not playing matches just for the pure fact that they're trying to protect that UTR. There's development. There's 90% of the children, I think, have an emotional problem on court, an anxiety, a fear of losing. Let's use these matches to work on that stuff. There's no need to try to protect that. Let's try to let's encourage failure. Let's encourage mistakes. That's what I believe.
Yeah, we'll definitely jump into the topic of UTR. We'll probably have a full episode on that, won't we, James?
Yeah, I think
because there's a lot to talk about.
I think that's an endless possibility of how much we can talk about the UTR. But pushing on from the UTR, we'll also talk about different pathways, whether young athletes want to try to go down the college pathway or they scholarship pathway. I know this is a bit of a personal topic to me. My son is currently in a Victorian school on a scholarship, which have an accredited tennis program. Ari's daughter is being homeschooled, I know Ari personally has copped a bit of criticism about that.
Copped a lot of criticism. We'll dive into that as well. So my daughter's 11 years old. Been homeschooling for, a year and a half now. This is her second year. So that's the pathway we've chosen. But we'll talk about that in a couple of episodes coming up.
Yeah, and I guess the other part of it is as well, it's not a one size fits all. Everyone's got a different journey. Everyone's got a different pathway. So if we can really bring to the fore what actually works for the individual, I think that'd be the ideal thing. And I guess we're forgetting the main part of tennis, and that's for it to be fun. It's got to be fun for juniors. They've got to love the game. They can't just love what they're trying to achieve. They've got to love the journey. And I guess the social aspect can go missing. I've met so many good friends out of the sport.
Oh yeah, we've made heaps of friends, James.
So heaps of good friends. So
same as my wife and your wife.
Yeah, it shouldn't be lost how the social aspect is quickly disappearing from growing up as a kid. I used sport as a social aspect, and look, you meet probably some of the best friends of your life. So I think that's lost on a lot of kids these days.
Yeah, definitely. Even I won't mention any names at the moment because we'll dive into that. But I spoke to a couple of professional tennis players, and their best times growing up was when they were kids doing national tournaments and tournaments in general. Why? The reason why behind that is because they used to catch up with their friends. It's not just about competing. It's about seeing their friends. Hey, how you going? The fun side of things too.
I guess it's funny you bring that up. I guess a big problem to me is I've seen some players who haven't made the cut to the ATP or a WDTA standard. However, some have fallen out of love with the game. Now, is that burnout? Is that specializing too early? I don't know the answer to that. But I guess it's sad to see because it's a game that should be. Tennis is a forever sport. It's a sport for life.
Correct.
So you wouldn't want these players to falling out of love with the game. And not only that, missing those connections they've made throughout their years of development.
Yeah, tennis. Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't come from a tennis background, so this whole thing of tennis was a learning curve. But we take my daughter to training, and you see there's a bunch of old ladies, 60s, 70s, and they come every morning for coffee and they're still having a hit. For me to see that just brightens up my day, because I'm like, they're still coming here that age, having their coffee, jumping on court, having a laugh with their friends, social.
It's a sport for life.
Definitely.
So saying that, being a sport for life, we also want this podcast to be interactive. So we want you, the viewer, to get involved. If you're unsure, please, there's no silly questions. Reach out. We encourage that. It's not just about us talking into a mic and looking down a camera for endless amount of hours. We want you to be involved. We want you to interact with us so we can know what's on your mind to bring you all the answers that you may be looking for. So that's what we're here for. I will add that I want to give a big thank you to the sign behind us. Now, that's just not just a sign. That's Tennis Only. They've been a big part of this journey. Just to break down Tennis Only.
From the start.
Yeah, we walked into Tennis Only with a concept and an idea. And we've met with Dave from Tennis Only in West Meadows, who was nothing but encouraging. He was helpful. A lot of people might have laughed at the idea, but he didn't. And he really gave us some air. So we want to thank Tennis Only. If you need any tennis equipment, any tennis gear, please get down to Tennis Only. They do a great job. They've been serving the tennis community for a very long time. So big thank you to Tennis Only for being part of our journey. And also for you guys, the listeners, if you're still with us at the end of episode 1, it's going to be a pretty exciting journey. So we look forward to taking you on that journey. Please tune in next week. We're going to have a special guest coming on next week I don't think you want to miss it. It's something that a lot of kids struggle with.
Should we tell them?
Yes, let's get the cat out of the bag. We've got a mental coach coming on next week, specializing in the mental part of tennis. And I think that's what we all struggle with, especially the children of the game, the adults of the game, me included.
Especially parents.
Yeah, so I think we all should hear what he's got to say, at least get a bit of an understanding and an idea what we need to do to navigate this pathway better.
Yeah, parenting, it's bad enough as it is when a kid's playing. There's that much pressure. Let's say it's a super tiebreaker, James.
Yeah, there's pressure.
As a parent, I'm being honest. As a parent, the anxiety that goes through me watching my daughter play a super tiebreaker, and I don't know how to channel that properly. So speaking to a mental coach, obviously a mental tennis specialist, it was definitely helped. Because I think a lot of parents go through what we go through.
I agree. And I guess the big part that everyone is worried about even admitting or to themselves or to their child, no one wants to see their child fail. That's just the reality of life. Every parent wants their child to do better in life than they have themselves. So watching your child fail is hard. So maybe that's the answer. Maybe they do need to fail. That's my opinion. That's what we've been coached.
But definitely.
Failing's all part of the journey. Probably should be celebrated.
Definitely. Like, how many times have we seen parents pace up and down?
I'm one of them.
Sometimes I've seen parents crack the shits and just walk off because they can't tolerate the pressure.
I'm one of them too.
So,
I'm one of them too.
Yeah, speaking to this mental tennis specialist, I think would be a big help to not just us parents and to players.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks for joining us. Episode 1 on Point by Point. We're excited for the journey ahead. Please subscribe and follow and drop any comments you need into our show notes, or please, we want you to be part of our journey. So until next time, we'll see you around the traps. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Point of Point, welcome in. Junior tennis, all the wins. James and Ari, we're on court. Point by point, let's start.